Well, Andy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you have a daughter.
Yes.
How much did having a child affect your songwriting time?
Well, I suppose insofar as that, all of my songs tend to be quite sort of, they're packed full of emotion. And I suppose since she's been in the world, it's a very emotional thing, having a kid and stuff. And so I suppose she's probably, even subconsciously, she's probably all over the songs, because I'm probably singing to her or about her a lot of the time.
Did it affect your drive to write? Maybe because you have a distraction around you all the time, I suppose?
I don't know. I think the only thing I can think of in terms of drive and daughter is that something I never used to think about before would have been about, providing. Kind of very basic, manly kind of need and want to provide. And I think since I've had Chloe, I feel like there's even more of a reason to work hard.
Were you able, when you got her, you could already provide yourself and the family from music, or was there a fake period maybe where you had...
When we had my daughter? Yeah, well, when we had her, I was still in my old band Razorlight, so I had some cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but subsequent to that, I've had to work very hard. But yeah, I mean, the band got nice and big. We had some money, so I didn't go into kind of parenthood without a foundation. But it is, it can be frightening because they need to go to school and they need to have a nice place to live.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Yeah,
You found that maybe you settled now a little bit. You found rest in the way you live right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've recently moved house. We recently moved countries. So there's a level of unsettledness that comes with doing that, I suppose.
Where did you go to?
We moved from London, where we've been for 8 years. We moved to New York at the beginning of the year. I feel pretty settled and happy and good about everything, really. I mean, I've always kind of thrived on the idea of a challenge and shaking things up. I don't like things to be, the same all the time. It's quite nice to have a...
What was for you the biggest, biggest factor why you went to New York?
Because I went to New York primarily because every time we used to go there over the years, my wife has always been like, "Can we move to New York?" And I would always be like, "No,
not now."
Not now. And then she'd say it again 6 months later. I'd be like, "No." And then I don't know, a few years pass and I run out of excuses. And we just did I did a record with Tom Smith at Christmas, and we did that. And then when that kind of was over, I guess Christmas Day, I didn't really know exactly what to do next. I knew I wanted to make a record of my own, and those We Are Scientists were waiting over there in New York for me with an empty drum store. So I thought, maybe now's the time to kind of do something a bit different and move. And so I did that. And then no sooner had I done that than an opportunity came up with Piaz, the greatest record company on earth. And yeah, everything kind of changed. So it was bizarre, really, to have moved away and then to have an opportunity back over here.
Because I can imagine when you are in New York, maybe as a visitor, that every visitor who likes the city would like to live there. But how was it to actually move there and live there yourself instead of being there for maybe a
few days? Yeah,
a few days. Or
it's very different. It's very different from, because when you're touring or whatever, you tend to sort of check into a hotel and do 3 or 4 nights, and it's a lot of fun. And so it was weird to be stood in the queue to get a social security number and do kind of real mundane sort of domestic things. But no, it's great. I do. I have some days where I'm like, man, live a long way away from where I'm working at the moment. But at the same time, I think it's such an incredible experience, such an amazing city. I don't think I want to live there ultimately, but I feel like the idea of spending a couple of years there is amazing. It's a crazy place.